The information in this podcast is not legal advice and should not be construed as such. It is for informational and educational purposes only.
Welcome to Resource Sessions. I'm Gwendolyn Stirk of Stirk Family Law, and I'm privileged today to have with us Sheila Strutz of Bridges to a New Day, a not-for-profit counseling agency. Welcome, Sheila. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Having me on.
So tell us a little bit about Bridges to a New Day.
Yeah, of course. So our mission of the agency is to provide prevention, intervention, and education services to, foster nonviolence in the lives of children and adults. So our goal is to provide these underserved members of the community with low-cost counseling resources that empowers community members to overcome their life crisis in a manner that promotes positive mental health. So we focus on majority of the people who can't afford counseling services. So, it's been very helpful.
That's great. So now in terms of the people who come to see you, that can range though. You see adults and children, is that correct?
Yes.
And you provide a variety of concentrations for that therapeutic sessions, correct?
Yes, we have a couple of different programs that we oversee. I could talk a little bit about, we have our domestic violence program. So it focuses on counseling services that are strictly for victims of, and their children of domestic violence. They're free services that focus on empowering women to achieve their goals and overcome trauma that they experienced. One of the other programs we have is our insurance counseling program. And in this program, we accept insurance reimbursements. So it's people attend sessions for a variety of reasons. So relationship issues, depression, anxiety, school behavior, and work problems. And then we have a couple other ones where we have the Darlene's program. So we are seeking funding for this program. It's a newer program. It's a reduced fee for counseling services, and it's designed to help bridge the gap between clients who do not have the resources to obtain counseling. So we refer to this program as Darlene's program in honor of our former board member who was instrumental in the funding of the agency. So it's huge.
Okay, so I just want to understand. So let's kind of break those apart and unpack this a little bit.
Sure.
So domestic violence, is that a charged service?
No, it's a free service. It's for people who don't have insurance to pay for it.
Right. And that domestic violence counseling then is somebody who might have gotten an order of protection, or maybe there's criminal charges pending or something of that nature. Do you have to have some level of court action in order to enroll in the program, or is it open to anybody who comes in?
I believe it's open to anybody that comes in. Obviously, we'd assess each situation, when it comes to us. So.
And is there a limit on the number of sessions in that program, or does the counselor make a determination as to what's needed as a treatment plan?
So obviously the goal is to have, as many sessions as the client needs, but the least is better. So the goal is to actually help them as quick as possible. But yes, as many as they need.
Got it. Now, you also talked about the insurance program, and I'm not sure if you can unpack that a little bit, because I'm not sure that I fully understand. So you take what the insurance pays without the copay? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, so some insurance programs usually have some reimbursements, but they won't pay for all of the counseling sessions. So if that's the case, we pick up whatever's left over, so it's still considered free.
Understand.
But we do work with a decent amount of insurance companies, and we build them.
So somebody can call in and say, maybe I have a 50% coverage or a 70% coverage, and then whatever the difference is, that would be covered.
Yes, if they can't afford it, then obviously we provide that for them.
So how do you determine if they can't afford it? Do they have to fill out some type of financial data in order to be accredited, or do you take the word of mouth of someone coming in?
We usually kind of just go through if they have insurance, right? And where they are in their life. Sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of the people that are going through domestic violence are usually stay-at-home moms or moms that don't work because they're taking care of their kids. So if they are getting a divorce, or if they're not covered by their husband's insurance because they're in that process, they're still getting everything situated. So that's when we would assess the situation and then obviously go from there. But if they do have any type of coverage, we work with them on what that coverage provides, and then we pick up the rest if needed.
Very good. And then Darlene's program is somebody who doesn't have insurance at all.
No, it's just a reduced counseling fee to help with, people who don't have any of those resources.
Got it. All right. And so with regard to the other programs, we talked a little bit about the domestic violence situation, but with the insurance program where you're just taking the insurance coverage, or the Darlene's program, is there any limit on the number of sessions, or is that done as needed, as determined by the counselor?
I think it's determined by the council, honestly. So obviously it's a little bit more. So they focus on relationship issues, depression, anxiety, school behavior, work problems, and assess them as needed.
Got it. And how did it come about that Bridges to a New Day was started? Is there
Oh my goodness. So
background here?
yeah, so there's a huge history, and I could kind of read through it because I'm newer to the organization, obviously, and took over presidency recently. So I asked her, I was like, can I know like the gist of it? Because I don't even have all that information. So it was started in 2003. They started with providing parenting workshops and dating violence presentations. And the consistent feedback was, they wanted, there's no counseling services that, anyone provided that. None of that stuff existed. So in 2005, they obtained some space in the downtown area where they started providing services. And then it just kept increasing and increasing. So they were doing services for adults, children, family, couples. And then 2007, they expanded again. 2008, they expanded again. And then obviously in 2017, they provided about 226 adults and children with services. And then it went up to in 2019 and 20, it was like 409. And then we moved offices recently. And then with that pandemic, a lot of things changed. They were seeing all of their clients in person. So they kind of had to switch over and reinvent the wheel, as everybody knows, we all have, right? So then that happened. So then we had to increase the staff and the agencies and the hours to focus on telehealth. So they could keep their services going. And then obviously, they started Darlene's program, which is one of the newer programs. And then they were seeing about 295 adults. And then they went through and increased their services. So anxiety and depression for children's, adults, and families. And then as of right now in 2024, they have 25 now, but at the beginning, they have about 600 people currently that they're helping and servicing.
Wow, that's incredible. And how many counselors do you have in your organization?
Oh my goodness. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, and I don't want to give you a correct number because they had recently brought a couple additional on and then terminated a couple. So I know in the office, I don't want to give you a number because I feel like I'm going to be wrong, but I could get back to you on that.
It's not a problem. So tell me, do you have the option to come in person now as compared with telehealth, or is telehealth no longer available?
There's both now. So they do see some patients through telehealth, depending on their location. And then we do have an office in Crest Hill where we have, I think there's like 2 or 3 counselors in the actual office. And then there's an admin staff as well. So.
Very good. Well, now, if somebody is listening today and they're saying, well, I know that I need to get into counseling. I need to regroup. I need to start. I might have some insurance, but I don't have a lot of extra money to pay for it. Who should they reach out to, and how do they get started utilizing the services?
Yes, I could send over the website that gives you all that information so they can look up, locations and what they want to do, fill out an information. Then there's numbers to call too. So you could call directly to their office. If you need that information, I could tell it to you now if you need, or I could.
Well, we're going to post it online as part of the podcast so that people will have that information to do that. Now, obviously, you're hearing these stories, and we certainly know that Darlene had put a lot of action where, she put her money behind where her mouth was, right? Be able to fund this. So maybe somebody's listening today and saying, look, I understand that mental health is a major issue and that we need to support it. And they want to get involved with an organization such as yours. How do they start, and how can they help? What opportunities are there?
Wow. The biggest thing we have coming up right now is our biggest fundraiser of the year. So we have our Boots and Brunch coming up on March 23rd. From 11 to 2 at Mistwood Golf Course. So it's a great event. We do have a lot of live auctions. We do, baskets and presentations and introduce the staff and talk a little bit more about the foundation. If anybody's interested in attending, they're more than welcome to do so. And I will send that information over so you guys could post it as well. And then obviously, if you guys are interested in giving a donation, you could reach out directly to the website or give us a call and we could give you the process surrounding that as well.
Sure, and all that money then directly goes to providing services to individuals.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So outside of that one event that you have coming up, is there any activities or events that you have on an ongoing basis throughout the year?
We do our Bunko event, which we just had a couple months ago. We had at the Lockport location, VFW, and it was a lot of fun. We had about 40 or 50 people. We had some raffle baskets and obviously played Bunko, which it was my first time doing.
I've played it too. It's kind of fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun. You know what? I wish I would have been doing that sooner. I mean, I do love bingo, but then when I got into the Bunko world, I was like, this is fun. So it definitely raised a decent amount of money as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Those are our two big events. I believe we have some little smaller ones throughout the year, but those are the two that I think raise the most amount of money.
And then how did you get involved with the organization?
Yeah, so Carolyn Khan, who's actually one of the founders, she is in our Lockport Rotary Club, and I've been part of that club for a couple of years now. And I don't know, I just love giving back to the community. And I live in Homer Glen, so I joined the Lockport one because it's close by. And then we met for lunch, and she told me a little bit more about the organization, and I just fell in love. And I'm like, it's great to be able to give back to women and get more involved in that foundation. And honestly, even with what I currently do, I'm a real estate agent. I've actually helped 3 women this past month get into rentals because they had situations with domestic violence and had 4 kids at home, 1 kid, being special needs, and just had nothing, no credit, no stay-at-home mom, and literally they're left with nothing. And it's just really sad, so one of the things that I do is obviously go above and beyond to get them into a house that fits their family. So,
well, that's very nice. And then giving them the referral to Bridges to a New Day.
mm-hmm.
That's very, very cool and very good information that's available, because counseling also, I'd like you to comment on the myth that somehow it's not going to be accepted in society, because I think we're past that now. Would you agree?
100%. I think, honestly, I think it's healthy for everyone to get counseling, whether you're in a domestic violence relationship, having anxiety, depression. I think it's definitely good to talk openly to somebody about what's going on in your life, good or bad. I don't know, for me, it helps me to talk about anything to kind of get through it a little bit more. So I think it helps for everyone as well.
Yeah, and it gives you the skills and tactics. I think that I always encourage, at least our clients from a family law basis, talk to your therapist about some, maybe some physical things that you can do, or even, how you can react to situations, and some guidance about what to do when situations occur. And counseling in that therapy is really a great way to get that information and give you the tools that you need. And I think it has to be viewed as no different than going to get a checkup for high blood pressure, right? It's the same.
Or taking your car in,
Right.
I mean,
A good example. Yeah.
We all have to take care of ourselves. That's how we're going to be here for our families, right?
Right. And so to be able to give that back. Now, I do have a question remaining on children. Do children of all ages, then, are they eligible to participate?
Yes. All children. Yeah. They worked with a lot of school programs when they first started the foundation. And then obviously, so it's open up to adults and all children.
That's fantastic. So, well, we appreciate you coming on today, Sheila. I think you've done a great thing here by getting involved with the organization. Is there any other details about the organization you'd like to provide us today?
No, if you are interested in donating to our live auction or silent auction, that would be much appreciated. If you're interested in getting involved in the board, we have our advisory board. So if you're interested in jumping on, we have a meeting once a month on Wednesdays at 6:30. So just reach out for more details, and then spread the word about our services to your family and friends, because obviously we all need to take care of each other in this community.
Absolutely. So a lot of opportunities. Somebody listening that wants to give back. You got to start somewhere. So get involved, choose that organization, and move forward. Well, we appreciate it. We are honored and privileged to have your organization as our not-for-profit hero of the month. And we do acknowledge and thank you for what it is that you give back to our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.